3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome to Background Noise.
This is a podcast about literally anything and can be listened to while you're doing literally anything.
We're just two best friends who love to talk. My name is Eric.
My name is Kaysee, and for today's episode, we are going to be reading Am I the A-Hole posts.
Okay, I think me first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, this one is, am I the a-hole for hiding the laundry detergent I just bought from our roommate? We're starting off mellow. Okay, hello. So for context, we have a roommate who's been with us for, I believe, at 6 months.
At 6 months?
Yeah. Well, I've been able to keep laundry detergent for longer than a month between me, 26, my boyfriend, 28, and my kid, 6. Sorry, this has the worst grammar. Anyways, our roommate, 24, female, has been washing her clothes at least 3 times a week, so our laundry detergent is gone within a month. Thing is, I've asked her to get more when she uses it all, but she always has some kind of excuse for not getting it. Same with any other necessities like toilet paper, hand soap, and soap for the dishwasher. That's called dishwasher detergent, or to wash dishes with at all. So I ordered more laundry detergent and hid it in our gaming room under my desk. Am I the a-hole? I think not.
No, absolutely.
If she's never contributing to buying anything, for sure you're not.
And she's like, the person doesn't have any problem with them using it.
Yeah, exactly. She's just saying when it's out, will you go buy more?
Get more because you're also living here and you need to
contribute.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Yeah,
they're
definitely not the a-hole. The roommate is.
The roommate is.
Bang, bang. Not the roommate. You are found not guilty.
Not guilty. That's funny. Okay, so this next one is, am I the a-hole for sending my brother a list of every item of ours that my nephew ruined?
Okay.
Why do they also started, for the context, like, that's obviously, not how you have to just give it. We can't judge you if you don't give us context.
Exactly, and that's not how you tell any story. You don't say,
for the context.
By the way, just so you know. Like, that's how they started. Like, okay, contradictory.
Yeah. Okay, I, 25 female, have a niece, Bella, 7, and a nephew, Michael, 10. They're my brother Alex's kids. I love them both, but I have a much closer relationship with Bella. Michael is a good kid, but he's a ticking time bomb. He's absolutely uncontrollable. I'm his aunt and I love him, but I really can't have him around for very long. The last time he was in our house, he poured my nail polish collection onto my wife's favorite silk Persian carpet, and that isn't even 1% of the damage that he's done. My wife, 27, and I have recently bought a villa out of town. It has a game room, pool, and many things Bella adores. So we offered to give her a tour of the place and let her check out the rose garden there, if Alex and his wife agreed. Alex said either both Michael and Bella were to be included or none of them were going. My wife and I both insisted to only take Bella, but he was not having it, so we said we would just go by ourselves. Alex got really mad at us and said it was disgusting that we favored Bella because she was a girl and that we were both hypocritical and unfair to Michael and never included him in our plans. I told my brother that Michael was an uncontrollable kid. He had the audacity to ask what Michael had done. I told him I'd let him know. I've told him the items over the years as it happened, but he always said it was an accident and that Michael's a boy and boys play rough. I made a table, every item my nephew damaged in our house and the estimated cost. It included a few of my wife's antique vases, her glass statue of the Eiffel Tower, carpet, several of my wife's crystal decorative items, and 2 phones. He flushed down the toilet. Even the mirror of my car. I sent the list to Alex. He is now extremely angry with me and thinks I am being an arrogant person and taking after my wife's trait of being an uptight rich kid. I'm not talking to him at the moment. Was what I did a-hole territory?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so, especially how the brother's acting about, here's the thing, though. To exclude Michael like, I understand why they want to, but to be like, only Bella can come, that's kind of unfair to children because they're 10 and 7, you know?
Yeah.
But I understand where they're coming from because obviously he is uncontrollable if he's damaging all these things. Who flushes toilets down the toilet? I mean, who flushes phones down the toilet at 10?
I have no, or ever. Especially 10. I would never, I mean, no one, it's
So
clearly been
clearly-
thousands of dollars to the point where they're like, we just can't do it.
Which is understandable on why they're like, only the good kid in a sense.
Well, she was saying we only want her to come for the tour when we're looking at this house. It wasn't even like what he was saying. It wasn't like he can't come over. It was like we don't want him coming to look at the new house with us
because of all these things that he did.
And if they don't, especially if they don't currently own that house, you can't have someone coming in and destroying everything because you're going to get charged for it.
Pouring nail polish on
the carpet?
Like, that's something else.
That's bad behavior.
And, like, she said that she had told him over the years with these things that happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, what did my child do? And she created a table.
And
like,
it was an accident.
She was just... But the sister made the table and gave it to the brother about her and her wife. And all these things that the nephew destroyed.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
But, like, even if... Because he'd probably act better if the mom and dad came along. But still, if it's not even their home, I can understand why they would not want him over.
Absolutely.
Especially all these things that they said.
Yeah. A mirror and a car? What?
I know!
What do you do to a car mirror that ruins it? Stab it? Like, throw a rock at it, I guess.
Somebody in the comments said, he asked, not your fault. He doesn't like the answer. And then the person said, I grew up with 5 brothers. Michael has broken more stuff than we did all combined.
Yeah, no, for real. Wow. No, I don't think she's in a-hole territory at all.
I don't think so either.
I don't think she did anything wrong. I understand why she made a table, because he asked.
Yeah, he did
ask. What is he broken?
And
She's like, I've told you before.
Proof.
And then she made a list to prove it again. Because he forgot. It's not just an accident.
He conveniently
Occasionally,
forgot.
you can have an accident a couple times. At some point, your behavior is no longer an accident, and it becomes something that needs to be solved.
Even if you're a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I worked at an elementary school.
Yeah, you experience this all the time. Yeah, I don't think her behavior was a-hole at all.
I don't either.
The next one I have is, am I the a-hole for not inviting my best friend out to eat for my birthday? I have been best friends with this person for 5 years now. We will call him Kevin. And I won't be inviting him to eat for my birthday. For some context, Kevin got broken up with 2 months ago from a 2-year relationship, and I am very close with his ex. For my birthday, I'm having all my friends come over to my place, and we are going to just have a good time. This day will be for just the boys. On a day following, I was planning on going out with some of my close male and female friends, one of the females being Kevin's ex. Kevin will not be invited because every time he sees her, he'll make sarcastic comments attacking her new boyfriend. Me and Kevin's ex are pretty close friends, but Kevin strongly dislikes the idea of not getting invited to both events and only one. Kevin says he won't make it awkward, but I know the type of person he is, and he's very immature when it comes to this sort of thing. Am I the a-hole for not inviting him?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because they're having 2 different ones.
Yeah, if it was he wasn't invited to both, I think so. To, like, favor the ex over your best friend, supposedly. Yeah.
I was like,
but the fact that
at first I was like, why are you calling this person your best friend? But then as we read more, I was like, yeah, I don't think you are, because you're having 2 different events, and you're trying to favor their feelings. Yeah,
so you're inviting them to one day, and then the next day you're doing that. I mean, the fact that he even thinks he could possibly be the a-hole is kind of sad, because a lot of people will have one day where they do one thing with a group of people, and one day where they do dinner with other people.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty common for your birthday. Like, maybe one day is for your family, and one day is for your friends, and one day is for someone else who's coming into town. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's a-hole behavior at all.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
He is not guilty.
Not guilty of being the a-hole.
Sure isn't.
So this next one's also short, and it's, am I the a-hole for wanting to stay at a hotel instead of my husband's sister's house when we visit her city? As background, The last time we went to the city where she lives, I had a terrible accident where I fell down the steps face first on concrete, chipped and pushed back 3 of my teeth, and split my lip into 2, amongst other injuries. And
Wow.
I was literally traumatized. The next day, everyone was planning on going to the local shopping center, and I, of course, wasn't up to going anywhere due to me being on pain medicine and my face looking crazy. So I told my husband I wasn't going to go, and he told his sister. His sister said, well, let me ask my husband if it's okay if she stays in our house alone. I had to wait probably 2 hours for her husband to respond, and I was told I could only stay in the bedroom where we were staying while they were gone. That's weird.
Okay. I have a lot to say about this one.
Now, their house, their rules, I get it, but I've never felt so unwanted as a guest, and I simply don't want to be where I'm tolerated. I wasn't raised like that. If I welcome you into my home, I want you to treat it like it's your home. But maybe I'm tripping. Am I the a-hole?
I absolutely don't think she's the a-hole.
I absolutely don't think she is either.
I think all of that was weird and throwing up tons of red flags. For example,
somebody was like, F your husband for not wanting or not having your back.
Yeah, really though.
Her husband should have your back. Done something. Like,
yeah, what the heck?
What the
You're
even
petty.
heck?
Like, ew.
And then somebody said, this is exactly how I feel. I think he is too concerned.
She did. OP, that means original poster.
Yeah, she did. That's exactly how I feel. I think he's too concerned with offending his baby sister, but I honestly don't give a... Because I was offended by her. Thank you, because I really thought I was crazy for a moment. I'm dying on this hill.
Yeah, no, she shouldn't change. She shouldn't apologize. I mean, not that she has anything to apologize for, but...
Somebody was like, not the a-hole. This is so weird. You were literally confined to a room like a caged dog.
No, for real.
Oh my gosh,
as a fully grown adult? Like, that's such
weird behavior.
Weird.
That is weird.
There's bodies in that house.
Yes. She's like, let me ask my husband. That husband's killing people.
Yep, and she's involved. The sister.
Yeah.
Not the person who was locked, had to stay in the bedroom.
Or they're kidnapping people or something. Weirdness. All the red flags are up.
Yeah, I'm waving a red flag.
Get out of there.
You are not guilty of being an a-hole, but the sister and the husband, absolutely guilty of everything. Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
And her husband.
That's what I said.
You said this?
Oh, and her husband. Yeah. Husband, sister, and the sister's husband, straight to jail.
Yeah, they need to go to jail for being the a-hole.
Yeah. And probably killing people.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't actually know.
Obviously. But no, that's ridiculous.
Somebody said, yeah, I'm kind of concerned for the sister, to be honest. Why would she have to ask for permission for their guests to be in the house?
In their house. No, it's...
There's something weird.
Oh.
He could be doing, like...
Do you think there's some sort of, like, abuse?
Domestic abuse.
Yeah.
There could be. Because, I mean, I'm married and I'm like, I don't necessarily feel like I need to ask my husband for permission.
It's super normal to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm going to go spend...
For
$400.
Sure.
Are you okay with that? That's different because
that's different.
You're sharing finances, but like having to ask, is it okay if she's home alone when we're not there? That's not a thing you ask.
No,
it's your house.
Yeah.
And if you already had her planning on staying there, what's wrong with her staying there alone?
Exactly. That's just weird.
Okay, so random change of topic, really quick. I found this post on Instagram, and I really needed Kaysee to hear this because it's so insane. But I wanted it to be recorded because it's a good break from this. Okay, so my friend's dog died, and she lives in New York City, and so she had to take it to the vet by the subway, and she put the dead dog, in the suitcase on the subway, and it was a pretty big dog, and some dude saw that she was struggling with the suitcase. So he asked if she needed help with it, and he said, "Do you mind me asking what's in it?" And she didn't want to say a dead dog. So she said it was a bunch of laptops. So he took the suitcase and ran.
Oh my gosh.
Is that not insane? So he's going to open the suitcase and it's a dead dog. for a dead dog.
He's gonna be like, this was a psychopath.
Yeah, but he was also a psychopath because he stole it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I thought that was
What's in
insane.
this? It's so heavy.
I have no idea.
What the heck?
Is that not hilarious?
That is 100%
That needed to be a side
hilarious.
track in the middle. I felt like
did.
I wanted that to be on here. Okay, this next one is, am I the a-hole for crying after hearing my mother-in-law passed away? My husband, 23, and I, 23, has been together since we were 12, and we got married when we were 16.
That's so young.
That's
like, I got married young. That's young.
That's way young. We have 3 children together, 0 female, 3 male, and 5 male. Ever since the pandemic, our marriage has been going through a lot of problems, and we have been arguing on and off, even to the point where we have been taking multiple breaks due to my husband's betrayal to me. Whoa, this was like not the way I thought this was going. Even though my husband and I haven't been on the best terms, I still had an amazing relationship with my mother-in-law. She's like the mother I never had.
What was his betrayal?
I don't know, it didn't talk about it. So that was it. He probably cheated. The mother-in-law has always been there for me and gave me support, and was always there for me when her son betrayed me. So when my husband told me his mother had unexpectedly passed, I burst into tears as I felt really close to her. When my husband saw that, he got mad and accused me of always making everything about myself, and that instead of being there for him after his own mother passed away, I decided to try and take away from his grieving by trying to make him feel bad for me.
What?
Literally, that's insane. I don't understand how me expressing my grief is taking away from his, and I had no intention to do that. I just felt a rush of emotions when I heard of my mother-in-law passing away and could not hold them in, even if I had tried. I tried to explain to him that it wasn't my intention and let him know that I'm there for him, and he told me that the fact that I even tried that on him was all messed up and that he'll be staying with his brother.
You should see my face right now.
Yeah, Casey's face right now. Now I'm left here dealing with the loss of someone important to me alone while having to look after all my children by myself, including a 3-month-old. It's hard for me to even get up in the morning, so I don't know how I'm going to do this. I feel really bad, but I'm on the opinion that me crying isn't taking anything away from him. I would have been there for him even if he had just let me have a minute to process the death of such an amazing person. Did I seriously mess up here?
Absolutely, she did not.
No. No way it's you having emotion. I would be more worried if she had responded with nothing.
Yeah, for sure. This husband, clearly not
straight
a good
to jail.
husband.
Not a good husband.
He guilty.
He needs to actually go to jail. Not really, but no, literally all the comments too are like
he's probably cheated a few times.
Yeah, one, clearly everyone's like, not the a-hole, and obviously she'd be able to feel your feelings. She's 3 months postpartum, so you still got, I didn't say a bad word, but it sounded like I said a bad word, so I feel like cut that out, because I literally wasn't saying a bad word. It was just 2 words became, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really wasn't. Don't judge me. I wasn't.
I'm not judging.
Cut that out.
Okay.
She's 3 months postpartum, but that doesn't even matter because, like, because there's hormones, of course, and but if there were no hormones, I would expect you to cry when you find out your husband's mother died.
And it's like he's wanting her to just be like,
okay,
I'm sorry.
Darn.
That
like,
sucks.
what response do you expect? He's mad.
Why would you like? I'd be like, she meant so much to you too. Like, yeah. I'd feel like.
And you would know that if you were a caring husband or a person, or even cared about her at all, you would know she was close. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is definitely the a-hole. I am sorry that she has to deal with that. You definitely don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
I know. That's, oh my gosh, I'm kind of like mad over that. No, that's
ridiculous. I'm saving that to see if there's any updates on comments later.
Hopefully she's like, I divorced him. I found myself a rich millionaire who actually
cares about me. Gosh.
I'm like, I am kind of upset about
No, that's like really upsetting. That's really frustrating.
Yeah, she's 100% not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for Venmo requesting my sister-in-law for the hours I had to miss at work?
Oh.
My 35-year-old husband passed away a few years ago in an accident, so now it's just me and my son, 7. My husband was the main breadwinner, so it has been rough. I work until 8 and he gets out of school at 3. My sister-in-law doesn't work. Her husband owns a very successful business and she helps out, in quotation marks.
Oh.
Sister-in-law picks my son up from school and brings him to her house to hang out / do homework until I can pick him up. On Wednesday, she called me while I was already at work to tell me her and her husband got last minute concert tickets, so she wouldn't be able to pick him up from school. I was pissed. It would be one thing if I knew in advance and could make other arrangements, but she just sprung it on me. I asked her to reconsider, reminded her that she made this commitment and it would be really horrible to break it. She still went to the concert. I have to leave work 6 hours early and lost out on all those hours. I figured she put me in this spot. She should have to recoup me. My income is the only thing. Okay, there's no commas.
Oh dear, no, you're good.
My income is the only thing me and my son survive on. I sent her a Venmo request for the amount I lost out on. I got a nasty text from her a few minutes later about how she is not paying it. I had to send my son home with one of his friends yesterday and today because she won't pick him up. I told some of my friends and they are 50-50 on if I should have done it, but I need the income and she made a commitment to me and my son. I think that is more important than going to a concert to get drunk.
Wow.
This one?
That one's rough. I don't know, because I think the sister-in-law's move of, oh, we got concert tickets, I can't pick up your child even though I do it every single day, and
was kind of,
I'm gonna let you know,
messed up.
That's not nice. That's messed up.
Especially with how...
What concert is at 3?
For real.
None of them.
And how, last minute it was.
Yeah, if you had let me know before, no problem, because then she could have obviously made arrangements, but she wasn't able to. But I don't know, Venmo request is very passive-aggressive.
Yeah.
Unless you talked about it you're saying, I'm just going to do it just so you remember, but it's not.
I think it would have been better for her to talk to her and been like, I lost out on this money. We survive on that. Do you think you could pay it?
Yeah, she should have talked about it first and then done it. Because that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, in person or even over text.
Yeah.
Just say, just so you know, I'm sending this. Or you agree upon it or agree upon some amount. I don't know about text,
but even just a phone call.
Well, especially for the amount of money it probably would be.
Yeah.
Because it'd probably be a couple hundred.
Mm-hmm.
Not like when I've been like, hey, we split something. I'm going to send you the thing just so you remember because you're not going to be able to pay it today. Like I've had that happen before. I've done that with friends where it's like, send each other the Venmo request because we've talked about it.
Uh-huh.
And the plan was, I know you can't pay it today, but I'll just send it so in a week you can just pay it when you're ready.
Yeah. And I think that's
and then we
totally
both remember.
Fine. But just doing it out of nowhere and
without talking to her at all, I think that's not necessarily very nice either. But not that
she
wasn't being.
Sister-in-law knew their situation. She knows that her brother passed away.
Yeah, and so that's hard for her to make money. I think neither of them were necessarily responded the best in the way they should have, but I don't think she's necessarily an a-hole for what she did.
Agree.
I just think neither of them necessarily responded in the best way. They could have done it better.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
And you also, if you have a commitment, you should stick to your commitment.
I agree, for sure. Somebody said, this is amazingly stupid. Your sister-in-law is babysitting for free and you want to charge her money when she cannot babysit for free?
Mm.
I don't, well, she made a commitment.
Yeah, it's not about them. It's more about the commitment and the fact that you were like, yeah, no problem, I'll pick them up. And then, oh, I'm going to a concert. You pick them up. I don't know.
And knowing that she works.
That's just frustrating.
It's really depending on how you look at this.
Yeah, it really is.
I really don't think either of them were the a-hole per se.
But I don't think either.
More the sister-in-law.
Yeah.
But
it just is a bad situation.
Yeah,
that was
I think
poorly executed.
Yeah, she should have talked to her about it so that they could. I think it probably would have been better handled if she talked to her and be like, I need this money. You know?
Yeah, and say, hey, can you help me out then? I don't know. I can see why people would a side to one side or the other. But I see more why you would lean with the mom than the sister-in-law. Yeah, she's babysitting for free, but you made a commitment.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's not a small commitment.
Yeah, it's not.
And if there's no warning,
Especially,
if you gave warning,
the kid can't do anything.
No,
like he can't just sit there until 8.
The mom might not necessarily be able to do anything either, though, because she's at work.
Yeah.
Not every work scenario can you just leave.
Yeah, depending on what if you're a nurse and they need you.
Yeah, and you're doing currently you can't. Yeah.
Or you're a surgeon and you're doing surgery at that moment, which they probably would be making more money, but.
Yeah, but what would you be? I mean, still, it's just like a what if scenario. That is very frustrating for the mother.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Venmo requesting and not even talking about
it
makes sense.
Definitely passive aggressive.
Which I don't necessarily blame her, but that's not necessarily the best option.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm the a-hole for telling my best friend her moving across the country is a crazy idea. Context. 18 female, and my best friend, 18 female, got into a fight. We have been friends for 8 years, and she has been dating her boyfriend, 20, male. They've been dating for about 2 years. They are always talking, whether on text, call, or FaceTime, no matter where. We had a fight about her always talking to him, even when we hang out, but resolved it and agreed that when we are doing something together, she doesn't talk to him and I don't do any works or side projects so we can have quality time together. They still talk a lot, even when we do things together, though not as much, but enough that it makes it hard to keep that agreement. Now, we got into another fight about her moving across the country with him. He already lives there and has a job, so it's easier for her to go over there than him to come over here. She's moving right after high school graduation, and I didn't say anything for a while about it, even though she didn't tell me she was planning to, and brought it up casually like it was no big deal. In the resolution of the previous fight, we discussed being more open with each other and communicating more, which she wanted. I felt I was doing good on that because I was telling her more about what I was doing and the events in my life that came up, so I was hurt she kept those plans for me, but I didn't say anything. I finally got enough courage to tell her that I had thought her moving over there was so soon was a bad idea. I told her it was crazy for her to do so, considering she met him online, he's only visited in person once, he lives across the country, and she can't drive, so if something were to happen, she'd be in trouble. Other people have tried talking her out of it, but she's dead set on moving over there and won't listen to anyone who doesn't agree with her, including me and her parents. She says it's her life and her choice, so she can do whatever she wants. And it is, but I told her I'm her best friend and I care about her and her safety. I know my choice of words could have been better, but all other attempts to talk to her about it have been shut down, and I don't know how else to confront her about it. So am I the a-hole for telling her her plans are crazy?
So the best friend is wanting to move in with a boyfriend that she
across
just
the
met?
entire country that she met 2 years ago, but only online.
She's only met him online.
And one time, and he visited once in person, it said.
Okay, yeah.
No, you're not crazy. You're not the a-hole.
Yeah.
Why is saying your feelings make you an a-hole? Unless your feelings are, I hate you. But she's saying, I really don't think you should do this because I don't think you're going to be safe. Because if something goes wrong, you can't drive. You don't know someone. I mean, you don't really know someone.
You're moving across the country with this person you've met in person one time.
And you know nobody across the country, probably.
There's nobody there, I'm sure not.
Yeah, I don't think you're the a-hole. I think your friend's just, well, I guess everyone's got to make mistakes, but that just seems like that's a
stupid
decision. If he lived there and you guys were living, whatever, if you were dating a few years in person and you decided when we graduate we're moving across the country, that's fine.
Yeah.
But he's online. Like, you gotta meet him more.
That's weird.
I mean, they talk all the time.
That long, but still.
You're basically moving out of a comfort zone to somewhere completely uncomfortable to you.
Yeah. And what if you don't know how this guy is in person? He could be abusive.
Yeah, you met him once in person. You don't know someone met once in person at all.
People are different over phone. Online.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I don't think they're the a-hole. I think that's just a crazy scenario, though.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, but it is her life. It's true, but...
Yeah, but still. She's her best friend and giving her opinion.
Yeah, and one of his comments is like, it sounds like you're jealous or whatever, and it's like...
Who would write that?
I don't know. No, it doesn't. I mean, maybe you're sad that your friend's moving, understandable, but it's pretty clear that's not even what she's talking about. She's talking about,
Yeah.
I'm worried for her safety, which I agree. So yeah, I don't think that's the a-hole, but I mean, you can't make anyone do anything. So
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes people need to make the mistake.
oh, I see what they're saying. She's saying like she actually said originally I was super jealous because she was talking to her boyfriend while they're hanging out. I had forgotten about that fact.
Oh.
And would cancel plans just to FaceTime with him. I would probably be.
I'd be upset if you were.
No, I would be upset too. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure the same thing.
Yeah, but even I don't know. That's just dumb. I wouldn't move across the country for someone like that.
That's just yeah.
Maybe she's really shouldn't be your best friend.
Yeah.
That sucks. I don't know. I don't think she's the a-hole though.
I don't think so either. So this one says, would I be the a-hole if I didn't attend my friend's wedding after she kicked me out from being a bridesmaid? And it says, throw away and fake names and ages. That makes it kind of not as fun, but it's fine.
Fake names and ages. Say the age at least.
Yeah, what's wrong with age?
I mean, lots of people are 18 and 20 and 25 and 60 and all of them. So that's illogical.
I, 24 female, recently had a falling out with my friend Mandy, 24 female, resulting in me being removed from her bridal party. Mandy is getting married in July and asked me to be a bridesmaid. I happily accepted. We've known each other since we were 5, and we've been close friends since we were about 13. We never had any fights until the last 1 to 2 years, when we've had more complicated arguments. Mandy wanted me to design some wedding invitations for her. She asked me when I'd be able to start on them mid-December, but I had finals, so I told her I'd be busy. 2 weeks later, she asks again after my last final, but I was busy with Christmas, family stuff, and planning a New Year's trip. She never gave me a deadline, so I figured it just wasn't very urgent yet. About a week after getting back from my trip, mid-January, I texted her asking about the cards. She leaves me on red for like 3 days and then answers me and tells me it's fine, they're done now. Turns out she wanted it done before New Year's and was waiting for me to ask her about it. But by the time I did, she was already pissed with me for taking so long and stressed about getting it done. So she decided to start doing them herself like a day before my text to her. I could have helped her work on them if she answered me. I got pretty angry and I explained to her it felt like she went behind my back. She never gave me a deadline, so she should have told me it was urgent or at least tell me she was planning on starting it herself. But here's the thing. For weddings, you have to send out information or invitations way before the actual wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And if the wedding's in July, you'd want to get them sent out around that time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's common logic.
Yeah, it's got to be months before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, minimum like a month. Minimum.
But so
That's
many
still
people would, yeah, I feel like so many people would be like, I
can't.
Plans.
No, I know. It needs to be earlier than that. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
The fight dragged on for a bit, then we called and talked about it. She told me she thought she had been clear it was urgent. I told her that wasn't clear at all to me. I apologized for my poor timing and not picking up on her cues that it was urgent. She said that she should have told me she started the invitations and that she was sorry I felt hurt. She also brought up how she felt our friendship has been rocky lately. We've been fighting a lot and she isn't sure it's a good idea if I stay a bridesmaid. She worried I will add to her stress on her wedding day. I told her I want to stay a bridesmaid, but it's her wedding, so ultimately it's her call to make. A few days later, she sent me messages explaining she thought it best to remove me from her bridal party, but she still wants me at her wedding and as her friend. Adding insult to injury, there are these 2 girls, Sam and Pam.
Great choices for fake names.
that Mandy doesn't like. Mandy's been ranting to me about them for years, saying how she wants to break off their friendship, but can't bring herself to do it. Mandy and Sam and Pam have drama and fights all the time, but she still asks them to be bridesmaids. My mom and my boyfriend think Mandy is being hurtful, but two of mine and Mandy's mutual friends say they see both our sides. I don't know if I was out of line getting angry over the cards, but I'm also really hurt she doesn't want me to be a bridesmaid anymore. So I don't really want to attend her wedding. So am I the a-hole in this fight? And would I be the a-hole if I didn't attend? Info, I didn't blow her off when she asked me to start working on them. I answered and asked her a few times when she needed them when she wanted me to get started on them, and she told me whenever I had time. She did not specify a deadline, and that's why I didn't think it was urgent yet. The card thing is basically resolved, but what I'm upset about is that she threw me out of her bridal party over this. I'm no longer a bridesmaid, just a guest, and that's the main reason I'm hesitating about attending. More info.
Oh dear.
I feel like a lot of people are assuming I kept blowing her off, so I just want to try and make things extra clear. I completely understand I could have been more proactive to show I cared and was prioritizing her. And I did apologize to her for being unorganized and appearing disinterested. I know my communication is something I need to work on. However, I never blew her off. I answered her every time she asked me about it, and she basically told me to get them started whenever I had time. So I thought I had the time. I got home from my trip middle of January and thought I should get started on those invites. So I texted her asking for details on how she wanted the cards to be. She had only just started working on the invites on her own when she read my text. She then did not answer me for almost 3 days while she worked on making the invitations without me, fully knowing I was ready and available to help her. She then answered me after she finished making the invitations.
Wow.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's the a-hole for... I mean, I don't know. Maybe she shouldn't have responded with anger to the card thing. I can understand why she was upset.
Yeah, I can understand.
You didn't tell her. I mean, if you've not been married, you might not necessarily think about the fact that these cards need to be done immediately.
That's true.
But also, she had finals.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, obviously, that's
you really can't do a lot of
priority is. But then, I don't think she's the a-hole either, and no. I don't necessarily think the bride is either. But it is messed up to be like, you did this one thing and you're not my bridesmaid anymore. Especially when Pam and whatever.
Pam and Sam.
She doesn't even like them and they're her bridesmaids.
Yeah, and they fight all the time.
Actually, I do think the bride's kind of the a-hole.
She is kind of the a-hole. And I feel like also the fact that I don't think necessarily if you got like downgraded and I'm going to keep the people who I don't like as my bridesmaids, but the person I supposedly like,
yeah,
I don't blame her for not even wanting to go.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think she is the a-hole for not wanting to.
I don't think the poster's the a-hole, but I do think the bride kind of is the a-hole.
I kind of
Especially because she's keeping the people that she doesn't even like in her bridal party, but her friend that she does.
Her supposedly best friend. Or good friend.
Really good friend. They've known each other since they were 5.
Yeah.
That's a little messed up.
That is really messed up, actually. Wow. So, yeah, I think not the a-hole. I don't think you're the a-hole for not wanting to go to the wedding. I do think the bride is being a bit of one.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one. Am I the a-hole for not booking a hotel while visiting my parents? My fiance wants to stay in a hotel when visiting my parents because of some relatively minor incidents 5 years ago. I don't want to because I enjoy coming back home and staying with them the 3 to 4 times we visit per year. Okay, this person writing this is a 29-year-old male, and his fiance is a 27-year-old female.
Okay.
We have been together for 7 years and have a solid relationship, but when it comes to traveling, we run into some disagreements. To start, I'm more of an extrovert and was raised on staying in people's homes as visitors, especially family. My parents are immigrants, so this is where that stems from. My fiance is an introvert who also needs recovery time to decompress. When we visit my parents, who are 5 hours away, My fiance has anxiety and stress through the buildup and actual travel to the trip. A lot of these feelings come from her meeting my parents for the first time in a less than ideal way. She had a 21st birthday that didn't turn out great, and on the Sunday following, I introduced her to my parents. Additionally, about 5 years ago, I popped into her bedroom. We slept in separate beds because we weren't engaged yet in the morning. And while we were chatting, my dad popped his head in and said good morning and left shortly afterwards. I acknowledge that my emotional intelligence and lack of boundaries early on may have caused some deep seated issues, but since then, my parents have been welcoming of her and we haven't had any weird interactions. Additionally, she seems to enjoy herself during the stay, usually a weekend at most, and mentions how it isn't so bad after all. Additionally, I've worked on boundaries with my parents. I'm in general for things, and I've supported my fiance in getting straight to bed after a long day of traveling. To wrap this up, after the same repeated argument, she wants to stay in a hotel to see my parents. Well, I see why. This is out of the norm for me, and I feel that since we live in a different state and she sees my parents so rarely, 3 to 4 times a year at most, that's not so rarely, but okay.
Yeah.
That would cause some discomfort with my own relationship with my parents, as well as their view of us possibly distancing ourselves with them. Am I the a-hole here? What's the expectation for visiting your own parents and and accommodating your partner? Appreciate the feedback, looking to grow.
People said that he is the
Yeah, like
a-hole.
everyone's saying he's the
I
a-hole.
feel like he's not, though. What's wrong with visiting? Like, he wants to stay in his parents' house. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't, because of what even? I don't even understand why she's upset. Because her dad popped their head in while they were talking to each other.
What's wrong with that? Did he get the wrong idea?
You just said good morning.
I'm so confused. Like,
I don't think
so she got so upset
because he said good morning in her room. He popped his head in her room and said good morning. That was all the context that was given. Out of this, I don't feel like he is. I mean, I understand you should respect what your partner wants, but also that should be vice versa.
Yeah, like,
because you had
still, like, they obviously don't live near his parents, and it's normal for them to stay with family because they're immigrants, like he said.
Yeah.
So I don't know why everyone's saying he's the a-hole.
Literally everyone's saying like you're the a-hole. You're telling your partner you don't care about their comfort.
I don't think he's the a-hole. I'm just saying.
I mean, I can see I don't know. I don't think so, but
I mean, yeah, it is important to acknowledge her comfort and how they can make it better there. But I mean, I understand why he wants to stay with his parents.
Yeah, it's your parents. I don't know. Yeah, I would say probably not the a-hole, but maybe there can be some sort of agreement where every other time you're at a hotel or 2 nights you stay at a hotel and 2 nights you stay there. But every other or something. Just make it so it's okay.
Compromise in a way. They're both kind of being like, I don't want to give anything.
Neither side. There's I'm sticking with what I want no matter what. It shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, this one is, am I the a-hole for not contacting my 12-year-old son while he is in juvenile detention?
Okay.
I'm a single mom of a 12-year-old boy. I adopted my son out of foster care when he was 8 years old. He has been with me since he was 6. In the years since the adoption, my son's mental health issues have extremely worsened. He's diagnosed with ADHD, oppositional defiant disorder, and suspected fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. I feel like I have tried absolutely everything I can access. Every kind of counseling, family therapy, getting him engaged with activities, enrolling him in a mentorship program, changing his school. I have begged post-adoption services for scholarship funds for residential treatment, but they have been working on it for 2 years now. My son lies physically aggressive with me and teachers and is constantly being suspended from school, sneaking out, skipping school, and getting involved with the wrong crowd. I also suspect he is using hard drugs. I love my son, and I would do anything to help lessen the pain he feels inside, but I'm at a loss. We've had very sincere and heartfelt, on my end, conversations about how his behavior devastates me and how much I want for his future because he deserves the world after what he's been through. I say that to say he knows how much this kind of behavior devastates me. My son recently arrested for very serious offenses. I saw him immediately after he was arrested. I asked him why he would do something to which he had no answer. And that was about the whole conversation, other than telling him I love him and hugging him. I'm so angry that I can't bring myself to talk to him since. It sounds terrible, but I don't want to talk to him or see him. I will show up at every court appearance and meeting about his future, but at this point, I don't want to talk to him one-on-one. If I'm being honest, I think a large part of it is I hope him sitting alone makes him change his ways because I don't know what else to try anymore. A social worker today told me that I must be there for my son throughout the process or I'm risking being charged with abandonment because we don't know if he's even guilty. But I truly have to but I truly have not a single doubt in my mind he did what he is accused of. My intention isn't to abandon my son or go even months without contacting him. I just feel like I need a couple of weeks, and I hope those couple of weeks would make him think about his actions too. People are full of comments like charge the parent and that this could never be their kid, which I'm sure is contributing to my anger. I can recognize that I know they don't know our situation, but it is still awful. I've tried every way I can to supervise my son. The school didn't even notify me when he left campus. Am I the a-hole for letting my son sit in jail without any visits in hopes he learns a lesson from it?
How old was he again?
12.
12. Oh, wow. I don't know. That's a really complex
I
and difficult
know.
situation. Because I would say if he was an adult, no. And I don't think that would be the a-hole. Because
If
you
he
have
was
to
an
show,
adult.
I mean, if he was 18, 17, you have sometimes tough love is the way to
If he was a
show.
lot older, but at 12,
I don't know.
especially when she was saying he has ADHD, I think it was OCD, and fetal alcohol syndrome. All those things,
Sorry.
I'm sure, makes his life a lot harder.
Yeah.
So I think, in a way, she kind of is. But
that's just.
I can see where she's coming from, wanting him to think about it.
But at 12, are you really going to understand it? Understand really the extent of what you're doing? I don't think so.
Well, someone said, none of this is your fault, and this must be so hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I can call you an a-hole over anything here because honestly, you have to find out for yourself how to cope with this horrible situation. I have to say this, though, based on my own knowledge of ADHD and ODD, not OCD.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, so this is what she said, the poster. If I'm being honest, I think a large part of it is I hope him sitting alone makes him change his ways because I don't know what else to try anymore. The commenter said it won't because of those.
Okay. That, I can understand
because of
that.
ADHD and ODD.
Right.
Your son is suffering from severe cognitive disorders. Behavior comes from the brain, and his brain isn't working right. He's not wholly in control of himself, and there is no amount of reflecting or thinking about how horrible this is for you that will make him magically change. He might find his way to not repeat the specific thing that caused his detention, but the drugs, the rule breaking, the aggressivity are not going to go away because you don't visit him in prison. And
that's true.
I think I agree with that. And it's like, yeah, it really sucks. And I'm sure, like, as a mom, that's a hard thing to go through and to try to figure out.
Absolutely.
Especially with all the things she said she's been doing.
Yeah, I just don't. I agree with that one. Like, I don't think I can classify them as like an a-hole because I don't. Here's the thing: for all these people, also, we're not in their situation.
Exactly.
We're doing it
We
from
don't
an
know
outside.
everyone's side of it anyway.
Yeah, we're doing it from the outside standpoint, and we'll never know all the details, and never. It's not possible to ever know every single detail of anyone's life. But I mean, that sounds really hard for her, and I imagine he's having a really hard time. I just think that's just such a hard situation. I don't know.
For sure.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. I have no idea.
Yeah,
So
I agree. And especially this one and all the other ones, we don't know the whole situation. We don't know the other side to it.
Exactly.
We just know this one person's side of the story.
Which I just hope that they're both okay. How long ago was this posted?
8 hours.
Oh, wow. So it's, I mean, who knows how recent. I'm assuming it's probably pretty recent of when it actually happened, too.
Yeah.
But no, I bet that's super hard on her. You can tell it's super hard on her, but I wouldn't know what to do either. So.
Yeah, I don't think that we can classify them as an a-hole because, yeah, I don't even know what I would do.
No, I have no clue.
And there was some of the comments were like, "You're the a-hole." It's like,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard situation.
I feel bad for them both.
I know, that's tough to be a kid going through all those things.
And it's tough to be a parent watching it, especially when
you love them so much too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but just imagining the love that you have for this child and they're not making good decisions.
You just have to watch. Yeah, that's hard. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think she's the a-hole, but I don't.
Yeah.
I just hope that situation works itself out because that's just rough. Did you think any of these people were the a-hole?
We thought this was very interesting to hear these stories.
We hope you've enjoyed.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Talk to you later.
Also, we have some bloopers, which also have Easter eggs hidden in them. Ew! Sorry. I feel like don't put that in. I just really wanted to do it.
Bombastic side eye.
Batty, chill. Sorry. Are we keeping that in?
You'll get to hear about that more later.
Yeah, that's a peek into the future.
Foreshadowing.
I bet that ruins somebody's ears.
Probably. We'll see how it sounds.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. It can be a blooper.
Yeah.
This is a sneak peek blooper.